Hello everyone, Scott here again, and welcome back to the Guilty Pleasure Cinema, celebrating the movies you're embarrassed to love. And Christmas! Now, much like Halloween, my Christmases have been rather interesting as of late. This time though, looking at a movie that debuted on Christmas Day in 2007. It's Aliens vs. Predator, Requiem. It's a little dark.
Let's watch Die Hard on Christmas. This doesn't sound like a Christmas movie.
Now, after how awesome that was, I invited Santa back again, because, last year, he gave me the gift of death. He introduced me to death, and she's awesome, let me come back from the dead and everything. Long story. But I haven't heard from him, and I'm a little worried. Christmas has kind of already happened, and I haven't heard from him. Christmas happened, so I don't know what's going on, but can't wait any longer. The new year's coming, so let's move on to things with the I'm so happy this exists, but I never knew I wanted it Christmas movie, Santa's Sleigh. So what is this movie? What if Santa Claus was a demon who every year would have the day of sleighings, and he got into a bet with an angel, and the bet was if he lost, the bet would be that he'd have to be good for 1,000 years. No more day of slayings. They have to be nice. Day of niceness. Christmas. What if those 1,000 years were coming to an end? What if there's a family who kind of tracks Santa, and this kid named Nicholas, because of course that's his name, finds his grandfather's book, whoever thinks is crazy, and it's the Book of Claus, detailing this whole thing and the 1,000 years and when they're up. What if they're up now? And what if this kid Nicholas, his grandfather, and his girlfriend, Mary, goes by Mac, but Mary, because of course that's her name. What if they have to try to stop Santa on Christmas? And Santa has this murderous desire to get back and after being nice all this time. And he's got the letters from the kids that he knows where their addresses are and where to get them. And yeah. So what is this movie? Exactly that. It's literally that, starring WCW wrestler and WWF wrestler Bill Goldberg. The opening scene has him coming down a chimney, Kool-Aid Man busting through it, and slaughtering a family at their dinner table. All famous celebrities who, like Goldberg, are Jewish and in on the whole thing, which already elevates this big time. So what went wrong? Not much. It almost suffers from Blade syndrome thanks to that opening scene, but amazingly manages to keep pace the whole way through by going crazy after crazy after crazy. One scene has Santa Claus. It's a scene transition. We just come and we see a nativity scene. And then Santa Claus just bursts through it, barging through it, whatever. He's riding his giant hell deer thing and just booms through it and decapitates one of the statues. Because. Now there's moments like that all through the movie. And they make sense. They're non sequiturs, but it also makes sense. Like, they're trying to jam everything in, but yeah. Also, it's horror? I hate horror, but it really isn't one, save for the fact that there's a devil Santa Claus. But what is there to like? The man, Goldberg. Goldberg is amazing in this. He, of course, has the presence, but his limited acting ability that was seen back in his wrestling days, which honestly only excelled when he was the man who can't be beat type, well, that all is perfect as Demon Santa. It's everything you want without realizing you want it. He's no nonsense, with great Christmas one-liners you'd expect, and his look is amazing. His natural intimidation coupled with a gray beard and a rustic Santa suit looks great. He always wears his old cap and cape too whenever he goes places and takes them off and puts them on. I don't know why, but it just looks neat, and it all works beautifully as the look you recognize. And yet, something is off, which works so good considering that the look that we all know and love, the Jolly Red Santa, according to this, is the look that's been off all along. Just a fun twist on things. They even gave him a giant man-eating white bison hell deer to pull his rocket-powered sleigh. The movie knows exactly what it is. From the opening scenes being, like, literally that family dynamic that doesn't get along, just having Santa Claus come and wreck shop, and of course that entire family being played by Jewish actors, Goldberg himself is Jewish. It's not the Jews are anti-Christmas. This is just, they're having fun. They're not offended. And there's scenes where a Jewish guy's attacked. Don't worry. They cover everything. I'll get to that. But the movie just knows what it is. It has references to everything from the Necronomicon and A Christmas Story to Shoot Your Eye Out, to Coca-Cola starting the famous Christmas Santa icon type thing. It covers all that. Even curling. The finale has a Zamboni in it. I could go on for hours about this kind of stuff. I'm sure you get the idea. Good Lord, the origin of everything is told via Rankin Bass animation. That's all kinds of amazing. And like I said, the bet was curling. Look! Now, Goldberg is amazing and pulls his weight here. But what about the rest of the cast? They're solid, but not really anything worth pointing out, except for an early Emily DeRaven being cute as can be, while being anything but a damsel in distress, as she's the gun and driving expert. She even punches his hell dear Rudolph. The stunts and kills and action and the theme and everything just kind of works together and is really well done, but it all hinges on Goldberg. And he handles it admirably. Like, without question, he makes this whole thing work. His first real scene after the opening is going to a strip club and yelling ho ho ho's. When he's on, it's basically an action movie. And I argue that if you got a better actor than him, it wouldn't work. Because it's not that his badness is what makes it work. He's actually good and probably his best movie role here, honestly. But it's that gruffness, the offness works for the fact that this is Santa Claus who's had pent-up rage for 1,000 years. Here we go. There's even a fight scene where he takes a stripper pole, cleans it off, and fights guys transporter style. He has coal fire bombs, tear gas ornaments, rock and roll Christmas songs play when he takes out mooks, but we have intense Christmassy orchestral score when he's going after our heroes, and it's done so well that you never quite stop rooting for the heroes, the kids, the couple, and yet you love it when Santa's there. It's Freddy-ish in a way, and yet not fully overblown. It comes close, I'm not going to lie, and maybe a bit too close, and maybe it does get overblown, but I think it all works in the context of a killer Santa movie. There is some fun, creative stuff done with all of this, and literally, there is a chase scene right out of Terminator 2. And another has him throwing explosive presents from his flying sleigh as he chases their snowmobile. I mentioned he bursts into a Jewish deli. He does, literally, and stabbing him with, well, you know. He also bumps into some Amish rabbis, and decimates some carolers, and the movie just has fun with the idea of this whole war on Christmas through Santa literally rampaging. At one point, he's killing people so that the police map of where the bodies are looks like a Christmas tree. Some of the dialogue is just amazing too. Like it's the silly kind of lines. Like Santa says, "Uh-oh, looks like Grandpa got run over by a reindeer," because you know, right? And of course it does. And there's so many lines like that all through it. And he's calling people naughty and things like that. Doesn't matter if they're nice even. You know, it's really great how it does stuff like that. And from top to bottom, Goldberg all the way down, everybody treats this thing seriously in that way that there's a killer Santa. Like, honestly, give all the credit to Nick and especially Emily DeRaven's Mary. She sells it. She screams, she runs in fear, she puts her heart and soul into this thing to make you believe that, yeah, she's being chased by Devil Santa. But doesn't say Santa. This says Santa. And they all do. And Goldberg makes that worthy. And they all come together to make this thing actually work in a way that you think should be obvious and yet is really hard to pull off. And yet did. They all held this crazy movie together. Also, why wasn't this a franchise? I mean, it's been 10 years. It's obviously not going to be, but that's all I'll say about that. But that was Santa's Sleigh. It is a crazy, awesome, kind of flawed... Who's there? Santa? Yes, Virginia. There is a Santa Claus. Virginia is John Carter. I never should have shown you Die Hard. Die what? You're not the real Santa. Where's Santa? Oh, he's out of the way. Get out of my house and bring back Santa, or I'm gonna do this quote. You wanna know who's next, eh? Ho, ho, ho. You're next! Now I have... Ah! Well, crap. Now I have to save Santa. I have to save Christmas! Just not next time. Next Christmas, yeah, but next episode, well, next episode, yeah, next year we'll do that. Next episode, though, well, something's been a little off. I'm sure you've all noticed that. These ones, they happened, but they didn't. So I need help. I need help to find what happened between Beowulf and Underworld. There's a gap. I don't remember any of it, and I need to find it. So I figure the best way to do that is to look at an adventurer who's an expert in finding things and has a cool hat. So join me for that, and remember, you shouldn't feel guilty about it if it's a movie you love. Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year!
Anyone? Hello? It's awful cold in here. Someone's not being very nice. Hello?
But what is this movie? It's exactly what I just told you, starring Bill... I need to redo that because I don't like talking about Goldberg yet. Who did the Day of Slayings every year. What if Santa Claus was an evil demon who did the year... Die what? Die what? This is for the blooper reel. This is the one-time only take with these. I have a box of backups, but this is the only take I get, because I'm pretty confident these are going to break when they hit the floor behind the camera. Gotta get me at the pole! So yeah, this one went way farther. Did not survive. It's broken up. This one didn't go as far, but pretty obvious. It shattered when it hit the ground, so...